Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Monday the 14th of February 2022. And today we're going to start off with the latest loan watch from millfc.co.uk. Action was sparse for Mill's loan quintet last weekend, but Arthur Penny spearheaded the success as he was involved in a victory for Welling United. The defender played the full game as Ademola Shokunbi's 52nd minute goal gave the Wings a 1-0 win over Chippenham Town in the Vanarama National League South, lifting them to 19th and keeping Braintree Town one place below them at bay. So Arthur Penny playing there and helping to get a clean sheet for Welling United. Elsewhere, however, Alex Mitchell and Dan Moss were both absent as Leyton Orient's poor run of form continued with a 2-0 home defeat to Salford City. And Isaac Alofi missed Sutton United's 1-1 draw with Forest Green Rovers through injury. Oh dear. So upcoming fixtures, you can see them there. Tonight, on Tuesday night, by the time you're watching this, Welling United versus Dulwich Hamlet, a nice little local derby there. Also on Tuesday, Sutton United going to Bristol Rovers. Isaac Alofi, will he be involved in that, or will he still be suffering with his injury? We don't know. So there you go. Joining them as well, no mention of that in there because I don't know if this happened after that story was written, but Dartford signed left-back junior Tiensia on loan from Millwall. This is from kentonline.co.uk, which is a Kent Messenger's website. And this is Dartford boss Steve King has added another defensive option to his squad. The Darts have signed junior Tiensia on loan for a month from Championship side Millwall. Tiensia 21 is yet to feature for Mill's first team, but he enjoyed a loan spell with National League strugglers Dover. Earlier this campaign, he started 15 games and made one substitute appearance for Handy Essenthal's Dover after joining them on loan in September. His last outing was in the 3-1 defeat at Dagenham on January 2nd. Darts have been without the impressive Jannard Mead since the start of January, while backup Michael Kedman has left the club. King has used on loan QPR defender Kai Innocent at left back for the past 8 matches. Tiensia could make his Dartford debut in National League South on Tuesday night when Dartford travelled to Hungerford. So there you go. Tiensia coming in to help fill a gap for Dartford there. So we'll see how he gets on. Hopefully better than he did at Dover. And now moving on to the game tomorrow, the QPR game. Let's have a look at that. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, and it's an update on the injury situation, which is not very good. We've got a couple of injuries in the Cardiff game, and now we've got a short turnaround, 2 days off, Sunday and Monday off, and then we go again Tuesday night against QPR. So Mill Boss provides striker injury updates ahead of Den fixture against QPR. Benicophobia set to miss Mill's home game against QPR tomorrow with a hamstring injury. The Stoke City loanee came off with the problem in Saturday's 2-1 win over Cardiff at the Den. We'll know a little bit more about Bennett today in terms of his injury, Lions manager Gary Hout told the South London Press. It looks like he has done something to the hamstring. Until we've had the scan, it's quite difficult to assess and gauge. It just seems any chance we get for momentum is made that little bit harder by injuries, but it's part of the game. We seem to have a lot of injuries to key forward players in this division. You need as many forward players as you can. But that is the case. It's going to be an opportunity for someone else to come in and play. Oliver Burke came off after 69 minutes. It was on the receiving end of a few crunching tackles from Cardiff's Alex Smithies. Once when he closed the keeper down and twice as he broke through on goal. I think Berkey will be fine, said Wright. It was just an accumulation. He got whack off the keeper in the first half and went down 2 or 3 times. You're conscious when someone like him is coming back into lots and lots of games. You don't want to push him through 90 minutes every single game. He's pretty close to being ready for that now, but what he has done in the last 3 or 4 hopefully puts him in a much better position to move forward. That's the plan. Daniel Ballard was not on the bench against Cardiff, despite the Arsenal only playing 45 minutes for the club under 23s last week. He had knee surgery in December. He could start any of those games, but we'd have to be aware that at 70 minutes, we'd have to take him off. If you're 1-0 up, that's not ideal, said Rao. Ideally, he needs to play 70 minutes. But it's almost impossible to do a pre-planned change with a centre half. So there you go. Could be missing Benekofobi, almost certainly missing Benekofobi. Burke maybe on the bench, don't know. So who's going to play up front against QPR tomorrow? Don't know. But we're going to move on to this. I'm not going to read all of this. This is from Loft for Words. It's a fan blog, I think, or maybe an independent media blog from QPR fan. And I just wanted to read the title. What they say here is an absolute definition of mid-table. And what they're talking about is Millwall. 10 places off the playoffs, 20 points away from relegation, 10 wins, 10 draws, 10 defeats. It's the archetypal mid-table season for QPR. QPR's Tuesday opponents, Millwall. And then they talk to Lucas Ball and James Blewett. And they asked them a series of questions. And you can see here talking about lack of goals, defensive play, fans not happy with Gary Rowett, but you know, a lot of other fans making excuses for him, saying they're happy with being defensive mid-table. Because if you look here, and it's spelled out here, the squad has improved. If you look at the players that came in, players that went out, the players that come in are better. Do seem to be better than the players that went out. There's no doubt about it, but like, if you look at the ones that come in this past transfer window, we've got 2 loans in, and then players who were actually contracted to us, so their contract was about to run out, they've gone. So we haven't actually gained any players. We lost 3 contracted players, brought in 2 loan players. We're still down minus 3 players. Because when at the end of the season, when these loans run out, they go back to their clubs they're contracted to. We're still down 3 players in the squad. And then you think, well, yeah, you go again then. You either bring in a loan in the summer, or you try and sign some permanent players, but you can see there, the players that have come in do seem to be better than the players that are left. And they talk about Murray Wallace being the standout candidate for Player of the Year. And then they just, how did they see the rest of the season going? Well, it's just chugging along, and one of them reckons when all these injured players come back, we could go on a bit of a run. It's going to have to be some run to do anything in this league. We could go on a run and finish 10th. We're 15th right now, but so there you go. I'm just if you wanted to read it, just pause it while I was scrolling down. Have a look for yourself, but yeah, absolute definition of mid-table. Absolutely. So let's have a look at this. So this is from 11v11.com. It's the historical record of the match of Millwall QPR. I've just clicked on it and changed it so it's Millwall versus QPR at the top, which is the situation we got tomorrow, Millwall home game. And you can see here we didn't We played many games against QPR before losing to them. There was some losses, 4-1 loss. But as we scroll down, you'll notice the number of defeats you can count on one hand. 1 in 1937, 1 in 1954, 1 in 1973, 1 in 1990, 1 in 2019, and then it goes to last season's one, which was a 1-1 draw. So only losing 5 times to QPR at home. Is it 5 times? Yeah. So in all of these games, which looks like around 30 or so, that's not a bad return. This is a game we win now. QPR are doing well this season, a lot better than us. They're 4th in the table. Does that have any reflection on it? I don't know, but you can see here a lot of wins for us at home to QPR. A 5-0 win in 1957, 4-0 in 1953, 6-1 in 1928, but that was, I think that was a season or so around then they introduced the offside rule, and things were a bit chaotic because of that. Or maybe someone invented goal hanging, and then they had to reinvent the offside rule around about 27-28 that season. Yeah, so this is a very winnable game over the history of this fixture. Now, a lot of the last probably 10 have been draws, so maybe we're looking at another draw. So last one was a draw, then before that was a 2-1 loss, before that 0-0, 1-1-0 in 2017, and then 2-2, so quite a few draws. So what do we see happening tomorrow? So this is from whoscored.com, and this is the last 6 matches, and you can see here 2 wins for Millwall, 3 draws, and 1 win for QPR, and there they are. And if you add in apparently match facts, if you add in the away fixture as well, QPR are undefeated in their last 7 matches against Millwall in all competitions, which I don't see how that can be possible when the last. Let's have a look here. That can't be right, can it? No, because that's clearly bullshit, because it says here 5 games ago they lost 2-1, so this match fact that they got there, I don't know who fucking wrote that. That's complete fucking bullshit, because they lost in 2019, which was the 5th game ago, so what are they talking about? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Can we trust anything from this fucking thing then? Who knows, who knows? You can see here, so I don't know what QPR's problem is. Over the last, well, I don't even know if this is right, but over the last 6 games here of them travelling to Millwall, we've got 5 yellow cards, they've got 10, and they've got 1 red card as well, so it seems to be a bit aggro. Maybe they do bring quite a large-ish crowd who do seem to make a bit of noise. You generally fill the upper tier, and they are quite loud. So maybe they get buoyed up by their fans and decide to get stuck in. I don't know. But there you go. So here we go. Here we go. They are 4th in the table, as we've seen, or as I mentioned earlier. 15 wins, 7 draws, 8 defeats. They've conceded more goals than us, but again, they've scored a lot more. Conceded 34, we've conceded 33. And 12-point difference between us and them. The form wise, the form table, they are 7th, we are 17th. So you can see there, in the last 6 games, they've actually conceded less than us. Only 4. scoring 9. Interesting. Okay. So let's scroll down to the last 6 fixtures at home for Mill. Last 6 fixtures away for QPR. Oh my god, you see there a run of 4 games in a row of 2-1 away wins for QPR. But fantastically for us, the last 2 games they've just struggled. Losing 2-0 away to Peterborough. Well, that was in the FA Cup. So if maybe they rested a few players for that. But again, Peterborough, that's not very good, is it? But the last game on the weekend, they lost away to Barnsley 1-0. So they've been shut out. Two failed to score in the last 2 away games. Interesting. Now we have a pretty decent defence, so can we shut them out? Can we make it 3 in a row? That would be good. We've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 6 away games against Preston and West Bromwich Albion. Didn't keep a clean sheet against Cardiff. Nearly. They scored late on. So nearly could have been 2-0. So, but some are attributing to that to taking off centre forward for George Evans. Okay. That may be possible. But also we haven't scored in 2 of our 6 last home games here against Preston and against Forest. So are we looking at a 0-0? Here's the team strengths and weaknesses. A lot more strength for QPR, but also a lot more weaknesses there. A lot more weaknesses. Defending at counter-attacks. Defending against long through balls. That could be our game plan tomorrow, because if Benicophobe isn't playing, that might be something we have to play with, like we did last season with Mason Bennett and Jed Wallace playing up front, or 1 up, 1 behind. But you can't really. Could you be doing that at home? I don't know. So match forecast, they think Millwall will score direct from a free kick. QPR will dominate possession. Millwall will control the game in the opposition's half. Well, we do hope so. We do hope so. So, all that being said, let's move on to whoscored.com and then prediction. So they've got possible lineups, which is not true. They don't really know what they're talking about. So let's just get down to the prediction. An injury time consolation did little to impact the outcome on Saturday afternoon as Mill cruised to victory at home against Cardiff side, who had won 3 league games on the bounce prior to kick-off. Indeed, they were a team in form, and we did manage to beat them 2-1, albeit them having a higher XG than us, having better chances than us, a lot more chances than us. Our defence held strong, kept them out until the final minutes of the game, and we Gary Rout made 2 substitutions that changed the game, bringing Saville and Bennett on, and that was very welcome change that helped us win the game. So they say a second half Domingos Quino goal condemned QPR to a shock defeat against Barnsley side, who were winless under Poya Ashbaga until the weekend. The London club were unbeaten in 7 league games prior to their trip to Hopewell. So there we go. So a team that were in form, unbeaten in 7 league games, they go to Barnsley and lose to a team that hasn't won for a while. So are they struggling at the moment? Do they have a few problems there at the moment? Well, we do hope so, but they say whoscored.com predict Millwall 1, QPR 1. I could see either 0-0 or 1-0 to Millwall. Possible it could be 1-1, but I think we're going to win 1-0. I think QPR are struggling have started to struggle at the moment. A lot of teams doing this season. These unexpected teams that have got up there at the top of the table, Coventry's and Stokes and whatnot, have started to come down the table. I think that might be QPR's time to start to struggle and maybe come down a bit. So we'll see how they get on. But I think we've started to start doing some few things now. We do have an injury problem up front, but again, other players can seem to help out in that situation and help us out. But I think that's why it's going to be 1-0 to Millwall. I think Millwall are going to win 1-0. So that's what my prediction. There's no prediction from David Prutton today. I don't know why. But Sky probably couldn't be bothered to do anything midweek. But there you go. There you go. I'm not sure. Didn't check beforehand if this game was on iFollow. I could probably do that now for you. Next match. I don't think it's on the Sky Red button. Yeah, audio. You can only buy a audio pass, so that means if they don't have the option to buy a video match pass, that means it's not on iFollow. Yeah, I don't think you'll get. Pretty sure you won't be able to watch this on iFollow. If you would be able to, they would be selling video match passes and not they're selling audio match passes. So yeah, just get yourself down to the den, I guess, or listen to it on iFollow. But hopefully we're gonna win, and I predict Millwall 1, QPR 0. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.